What's going on, everybody? So if you read the title, you know what this video is about today. My new used guitar. This is an ESP LTD ALEXI-600 SE. And I believe the SE stands for Special Edition. Would make sense, right? This guitar was made, and let's check it out here, 2008. And I do believe these were made for 2 years, between 2007 and 2008. As part of a very limited run. To my knowledge, there was only 200 of these ever built. So I'm just going to tell y'all some stuff about this guitar you may or may not know already. And I took some nice panning shots that I'm going to put over the video while y'all listen to me talk about it. So let's get into it. So this guitar was made in a limited run, like I said, of I believe 200 guitars. There's kind of conflicting information between whether there were 200 or 300 made. But it seems like 200 is the number here. This guitar is quite different from the ALEXI-600s that were out at the time. Obviously, you have the pink inlays and the pink pinstripes and the pink headstock decals that are different aesthetically, but there's some other things as well. So the guitar features a deeper cutout for better upper fret access, and this deeper cutout was first introduced on this model. And it continued for the rest of the ALEXI models up until this day. So that's really cool. Also, this guitar was the first ALEXI model, or I should say first LTD ALEXI model to have a satin neck with the natural maple finish. Again, this is something that we saw carried on to the remainder of the ALEXI models, even the LTDs. At the time, the ALEXI-600s had matching painted necks for both the black and white model and black and yellow model as well. And really the only other thing that was differentiated at the time was the hardware color, which this features a Cosmo black or a black nickel finish, which I think looks cool, but I'm not the biggest fan of because, as you can see right here, the finish is rubbing off a little bit. So I'm probably going to replace this with just nice black hardware. And I think that'll give this guitar a really sleek look. It's hard to really capture this without seeing it in person, but here you can check out the buckle rash that's on the back. But it's really not a big deal because seriously, you turn it away from the light and this is what it looks like. Not bad at all. What's even harder to capture on video is this, what I think is some type of finish checking. And this is just gonna be from age. And if you look closely, you'll see there's like these almost ripples. Just got this thing plugged in for the first time yesterday. I still haven't had that much time with it. I haven't even swapped the strings out. I haven't intonated it. I just gave it what I call like a quick setup. I got the neck straight. I got the tuning where I want it to be in drop C, and I got the more or less the action where I want it to be too. So it's comfortable enough, it sounds good. But the story of how I got this is really cool. I just went out on tour, playing for Mike Stead. I saw this posted on eBay the day I left for tour, but I didn't quite have the money for it at the time. I just bought my Hex model, and I was just hoping and praying every day because it was kind of expensive. It was listed for $1,600, and that was my holdout. I was like, oh, there's not that many people that are gonna pay $1,600 for an LTD that's, you know, like 13 years old and black and pink. Like, it's a niche thing. Even though Alexi is an incredibly beloved guitar player, I feel like this is a very niche guitar to want to buy, especially for the price, right? Anyway, so long story short, the month went by. It was still listed for sale. I'd hit up the seller a week or two before tour was over, just letting him know what was up. I was like, hey man, I really want this guitar. And I sent him an offer basically saying, like, if I pick this up in person, you wouldn't have to ship it, you wouldn't have to pay eBay fees. Would you do this? And that number was $1,350. We both agreed to it. Everyone was happy. Well, on the way back, we had our van packed so tightly that there was no possible way for me to fit another guitar case in there. My saving grace was I had an LTD Arctic Arrow that I brought as a backup for tour, but it had a tune-o-matic bridge and the strings just kept slipping out of these bridge saddles. So I was like, what the hell? Returned the guitar, still had the case. So I had an empty Alexi style case on the way home. Picked this up in New Mexico. It fit in the case, brought it home to Los Angeles, and here we are today. Yeah, so the other thing that was awesome is the seller sold me the guitar for even less, because he was like, hey man, you can't get the case, that's a bummer. I'll sell it myself, and I got this guitar for $1,200. That might be overpriced to some of you. I am very, very grateful I got it for that price, because Alexi Laho is my hero, my guitar hero, my whatever you want to call it. To this day, you know, I look up to him, and I pretty much contribute 99% of my playing to him, my style, my attitude, and all that, you know. I bought this guitar to be played. That's another thing people might be upset about. This is kind of, you could say it's a collector's item, but I play my guitars. This is going to be brought out on the road, and it will be backup to my Hext. So I won't be playing it every single night, but I'll take it out here and there. And I'm just so grateful to have it. I'm about to tear this thing down, set it up. And I'm going to make a bunch of videos on this thing in the future, but I wanted to give y'all just an introduction, because these guitars are not, there's not very many of them on the internet posted around, other than like old for sale ads. There's not a lot of YouTube content on these. There's only 2 or 3 videos I could find that are showcasing this a lot. So, like I said, y'all, if you're into this, if you're into the stuff that I'm posting, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot. And even more important than subscribing, I want y'all to comment below of, what do you want me to talk about with this guitar? What do you really specifically want to get into? Because if you're a guitar nerd like me, you like to know all the fine details. But y'all let me know below what you want to talk about. I'm really excited to have this guitar. I post shorts every single day on here, so you're gonna see this posted on shorts too. Just super excited, guys. So if you watched this far into the video, I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Stay heavy.